Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about hosta. I have many hosta in various places with various amounts of shade in my garden. My absolute favorite is this hosta underneath my Banksia rose or mokobara in Japanese. It is just the most beautiful green with a white trim. I bought this hosta right on the top of a mountain in Oita at a small store. It was dried up and in terrible condition and was about 100 yen or 50 cents. It's a true bargain. Hosta, or particularly variegated hosta with a lot of white, can really brighten up darker corners of your garden. This is a great example of that. Sadly, its partner with a green center and a white trim is looking a bit sadder. It's had a lot of slug damage despite being just a few centimeters away from its pair. This hosta, though, underneath my plum tree is doing so badly. It basically hasn't done anything for 3 years, but it's still alive, I guess. But look at those beautiful rain lilies or autumn lilies under the tree. They're just starting to come out now. And this hosta that I put in what I thought was a shade border has suffered so much from sun damage, even though I really didn't think it was getting much sun at all. Lesson learnt. It's in a terrible condition and I'm going to be moving it at some point this autumn. And these hosta underneath my fragrant olive tree and hydrangea are a good example of how the right side has had a lot of sun damage, but the left side has the shade of the trees and has managed to stay a beautiful green colour. And finally, we have the biggest group of hosta at the back of the house. And it's the second one in, the non-variegated one, that I will be dividing today. Right, so I'm going to take a big spade to the unvariegated hosta in the middle here and cut it up. I'll put it a little bit back and I'm going to move some of it to under the orange blossom tree in the far corner that I've been working on. I'm trying to get rid of all of the unvariegated one at this back bed and to let the variegated one grow more. I prefer to have a little bit of white in them. I have tried a couple of times to introduce new hosta here, but the slugs, they got bitten to death, so the slugs just seem to have loved them. So I put them in the front garden and they don't have any slug damage at all. So that worked. It's a bit sad that I can't make this into a hosta area though. So I've pulled up the Hosta. You can see the roots are great. This plant is very old. One of my husband's aunts brought it within a couple of weeks of moving into this house and handed it to me, probably because hers was going everywhere and out of control. I realize that now. But as you can see, it's got really strong roots and it's going to be pretty easy to divide this up. I'm just going to cut it down here and divide it up, and I'm going to put the smaller one back in that space and the bigger one I'm going to remove somewhere else. So this smaller one will go back in here. Other than a nice watering in, it doesn't really need anything because they're crazy strong and they've obviously been living here. This soil is so dry. It's been a long, hot summer, and I rarely I rarely water in this part of the garden. Okay, so I'm just going to pop those back in. You need to keep them reasonably near the surface. They don't like to be too deep. And just enough covering of soil to keep them happy. Okay, later I'm going to give those a bit of a water in. And this is the one I pulled out. So it's replanted now, and I have cut off all the leaves so the energy can all go to the roots and to resettling. Always cut off the leaves after you've positioned it and check that you like where it is. And then the very last thing you should do is cut off all the leaves above the ground and make sure it's well watered in. And then hopefully that'll come back in the spring, and it will add to the ground cover under my Kumamoto, which is a plant that many people think smells like toilet spray, but I really, really like it. It's very popular spray for using in toilet sprays and deodorizers and things like that. But I love it. It's a sure sign that autumn is here. I'm really, really, really hoping I get some flowers this year. Here is the original one that I put back, half of it back. It's here. I've done the same thing here. I've given it a water and cut back the leaves. Hosta are about to die off now. It won't be long before they've start feeling the cold and the leaves die back, and then they'll all be looking a bit like that as well until spring and the new leaves come back up. When I was digging up my hosta, I found quite a few bulbs. So I'm just going to go through those and replant the ones that I want and throw away the ones that are taking over the garden. So I just finished with the hosta, and I saw a couple of the myoga plants poking their heads through my hosta, so I've just removed them. And I thought I would just show you. This is the myoga, and this is the flower that comes up that you can eat. And this is what my husband really likes, and this is why we have myoga all over my back bed. There are very few things my husband does in the garden, but one of them is his myoga, and the other is the lawn. So I can only see one at the moment, but I will send him out. I got 2 more from the ones that I dug up. Shh, don't tell him. So that's 3 that he can have on his tofu tonight. They cost about 200 yen in the shop in season, so it is cool so that we can get them about 200 yen for a pack of 6, I should say. So it is cool that we can get them in the garden, but never ever plant them anywhere that gets a lot of sun, because they won't grow, and know that they spread terribly.